Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 172. This is a weekly diary podcast hosted by moi, Ray Taylor. Every Saturday I share updates on my journey as an artist, podcaster, business owner, and human being. I'm excited to share my experiences with you and hope that my journey can serve as a source of inspiration and positivity for you as well, if not a lesson on what to avoid, what life choices to not take. In this episode, talking about some upcoming changes that you may or may not even notice that are coming to the production of this show, of all of the Ray Taylor shows that I do that are part of that network of podcasts. I'm recapping my experience painting the 18 by 24 pieces, which I have the last Thursday, actually 2 Thursdays as this episode comes out, would have been the last 7 that I am doing in preparation for an upcoming group show. Also going to be talking about the new UGC product videos that I did this past week. Also, updates on my projector. As I mentioned, it blew up. The bulb blew up last week. Updates on that. My thoughts on the week overall and the closest I've been to being completely broke since the pandemic started. And as always, at the end of the episode, I will be sharing something that I'm thankful for. So this week, starting off, it was the 15th year of Inspired Disorder. My business, Inspired Disorder, which is the brand, I guess, my website, inspireddisorder.com, that I started back in 2008 on August 1st. And the reasoning for that, my previous business was more of a graphic design business called Digital Art Design Associates, a.k.a. Dada, which Dadaism was very one of my favorite art movements to happen, very influential, especially in the styles of art that were spawned from that movement. But I didn't really want to do graphic design necessarily, even though I do sometimes will take graphic design work, depending on who it is, who it's for. But I wanted to focus more on podcasting, wanted to focus more on art. My first podcast I did, The Billy Dallas Show, was done back when Dada04 was the website, dada04.net, which does not exist. I'm sure somebody else might own it now. But I wanted to focus more on art, podcasting, so I wanted to just kind of come up with an overall idea, brand thing, overarching kind of business structure that would encompass these new things, and came up with the idea Inspired Disorder because I am very inspired by many different things, and it's the meaning can have a double meaning, whether it being the disorder of being inspired or disorder as in rebellion, being something that is fueled by inspiration. Also, as I've gotten older and kind of understanding who I am and my tendencies and all of the things that make me who I am, and understanding that I possibly am bipolar, the name also kind of coincidentally is very similar to that, the kind of inspired disorder of bipolarness, I guess. But anyway, 15 years, that's crazy. Shortly after that, I started the Inspired Disorder podcast, which was my second podcast that I started. That was also my longest running podcast up until the Ray Taylor Show started. But Inspired Disorder podcast went through many different changes, many different co-hosts, many different type formats, and ended, I believe, like 2018. I ended it. Started off in 2009. like a week or two before Joe Rogan started podcasting. Yeah, so it's been it's crazy that it's been 15 years. And, it's no plans on ever stopping. I really enjoy podcasting. I really enjoy creating art. And as well as doing the other things that I'm creating with the user-generated content and the design projects that I've been able to do that I really enjoy doing. So it's been the perfect fit for what I like to create, what I like to do, and just no plans on ever stopping. Just keep pushing and keep growing it. So other things that I'm going to keep doing is this show. And as I have done since the beginning of this show, it's been a constant evolution, constant change. This past week was actually a really pretty good week. Very efficient week, which I haven't had in a long time. And one of the byproducts of having a very productive, very efficient week is me getting the clips that I release on social media of each episode. I do 3 1-minute clips of every episode that I release on social media. Usually, I will do those throughout the week. Usually in the morning before I post, which is not a good way to do it. This week, I did them all on Monday, and I want to try and do that again, although I have a bunch of appointments this Monday, so I might push it to Tuesday. But doing all of that, getting all of that done, one, I'm producing less episodes now. I'm only doing 5 episodes as opposed to 7 or even 10 episodes that I was doing, had a few weeks of during the summer. So it's a lot less editing that I have to do. But getting it all done at the beginning of the week makes it so much easier. So much easier. So I'm going to try and keep that more of a regular thing. Hopefully I'll be able to do. And I'm planning on doing some upgrades to this show and how it's produced. Not big things, just little things. Right, I have goals that I want to do to make it better, make the production a little bit. Not necessarily. It's just just fine tuning things. And the way I do things now, which I've done for years now, is I record on a phone and on the front facing thing. So I'm looking at myself as I'm recording, so I could make sure that I'm in frame, make sure the camera's still recording. And it keeps my eyes where they should be. And then just below the camera, I have my script, which is basically bullet points of things that I want to make sure I talk about just underneath that. And what I want to do is use my iPad. I've gone through many versions of this. The idea is to have like a teleprompter. But instead of a traditional teleprompter where you have a camera behind like this two-way glass or one-way mirror type of a thing, and then reflecting the script. I'm just going to use, I think what's going to work is I'm going to use my iPad, front-facing camera, get a mount for it, and then I'll get teleprompter software, which there are many versions of. And then I can just load my scripts onto the software, and I'm going to get, at first I was going to use, they have foot pedal controls. But instead of that, while I was looking and prices, they have rings. And there's one that has it's a ring, but it's like 3 buttons, and you can program the buttons. All I needed to do is to scroll the page up and down as I go through. And then it'll just be all on one screen. So and then I'll have my laptop here in case I need to look anything up. But it'll just all be through my one device. I'm also want to get some lighting upgrades to light the green screen a little bit better. Also want to get a new green screen instead of this wrinkled, which you can't see obviously because you're just seeing the image. But if you were seeing the raw video, you would see that the green screen behind me is very wrinkled, and sometimes you can see the shadows in the edit. And so I just want to get new green screen, one that's like one of the pull down ones, instead of just hanging this wrinkled sheet behind me. and then get lighting that will light it more evenly. So a few minor changes that you probably won't even notice. The video quality will probably be better since the iPad is newer than the phone that I'm using. I'm using a refurbished iPhone 7, which works great. Like, that's the thing with podcasting, creating YouTube videos, whatever. You don't need to spend a ton of money to do pretty good stuff. Like, you can, with inexpensive things, you can produce pretty decent product. So, minor upgrades that I'm planning to do. As far as my artwork, 18 by 24 inch is the largest that I've done in my style, and I just finished doing 21 paintings of that larger size. By far the most pain I've ever been in after or during painting this last week specifically. Like on the last painting, my back, like, I don't know if I threw it out or what. I was sore for a couple days after it. My foot started cramping up during the second painting. My foot cramped up. My toe just went crazy. It was very difficult to get through the painting of these last paintings. Back spasming, all that kind of stuff. So I'm very happy that they're done. Very challenging. I'm excited to get back to doing these smaller pieces. I enjoy doing the smaller pieces. Although I did enjoy doing the larger ones. Don't get me wrong. It's interesting to see how my style has grown over the years, and to see that fill up a larger page was kind of satisfying to see. Even though I tend to be very unhappy, not very unhappy, I tend to be unhappy with my paintings in the moment. You know, I'm very critical of all of my work that I do, always. But I've definitely gotten better at knowing that when I look at it later, when I get some time away from the creation process, so like even the next day, right? Like, I'll paint on Thursdays. Fridays, I will photograph the new work and edit all the videos. There's a lot of times where just the next day on Friday, I will look at pieces that made me unhappy in the moment and will have a different opinion of it the next day. Sometimes not until I post the clips on social media the next week. But a lot of the times, like, there will be pieces that in the moment I will be very unhappy with, and in reflection over time have a completely different view of. So something I've noticed about myself, which back when I used to do acrylic paintings, surrealism stuff, like, I would spend a lot of time just looking at my piece and thinking of ways to improve it. And the fact that I changed my style up completely, where everything's done in the moment and finished in the moment, sometimes I need that separation to appreciate the work that I'm doing. But anyway, I expect greatness in everything. Like, I put a good amount of pressure on myself to improve. And I know that I improve over time, just doing it consistently, the frequency of it. I'm constantly growing and getting, quote-unquote, better. But I still put that pressure on myself a lot of the time, especially doing these larger pieces, knowing that I have to choose one to submit for this upcoming art show. A lot of pressure on myself to do good work. And I think, there's definitely, it's going to be difficult to choose one piece. Let's put it that way. I'm happy with multiple, the consistency I have for creating work that I enjoy is a lot higher than it was. Like, I look back on stuff that I was doing a few years ago, because I post on TikTok, they have, they show on this day 2-3 years ago, this is what I was putting out. I was like, man, I have grown so much since then. It's on some levels embarrassing, but still, like, I still put it up. I I don't care. And some people like the old stuff too. It's what I like and what people like. Sometimes two very different things. So anyway, finally done with the larger pieces. Excited to go back to the smaller ones. Let's take a quick break from this episode to talk about attention all Ray Taylor Show fans. We're excited to announce we've just released a line of exclusive merchandise featuring original artwork inspired by the show. Our high-quality shirts and biodegradable phone cases are a perfect way to show your support for the show and make a great gift for any fan. Plus, with each purchase, you'll be helping us continue to bring you great content. So don't wait. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com now and check out the full collection. Thanks for listening, and we hope you'll show your support by grabbing some Ray Taylor Show merchandise today. And now, let's get back to the show. As far as the UGC stuff, the user-generated content, if that's something you think you might want to join, taking pictures of yourself with products, doing unboxing videos, product demos, product reviews, all those kinds of things. If you go to my website, inspireddisorder.com/UGC, you can see the work that I've done. You can contact me if you want me to create content for you or your brand. Or if you want to do it yourself, you're a content creator, you can sign up through the service that I use, Join Brands, which makes it really easy to sign up, and they handle everything, makes it very, very easy. But that's what I've been making money on primarily. That's been the majority of my income, especially during these summer months. And I did a few new ones. There was two dog treats, these supplements through the same company, but two separate things. Still waiting on one of the videos to be approved. Which I'm really happy with. Didn't really follow exactly what they wanted, but I'm really happy with what I created, and I'm fingers crossed that they will like it as well. I also did a video for a gourmet cookie. I think it was Molly B's cookies. They're like gourmet cookies that are inspired by alcoholic drinks. I had one that was a maraschino cherry cookie. It was delicious. So they sent me a 3-pack of these cookies. I did a TikTok made me buy this type of a video review, and absolutely delicious. So I got paid, I got free cookies, and they were absolutely delicious. So those are some of the things, and I have to do. I got a couple, like through the Join Brands, you can apply to jobs. Like there's a marketplace, and you see all the jobs and what they're asking for, and you can submit an application that's, just a click. And if you're approved, then you accept it, and the process starts. But brands can also just reach out and request that you do work for them. And a lot of the work that I do is that way. It's for whatever reason, I don't get my applications accepted very often. But one of the brands that reached out for me to do, I believe it's a product review, is like this drink mix, this man drink mix for men that's like a morning thing that's got vitamins. It's like this drink mix that apparently costs like $100 to get. So they're sending me the product for free. And then the video, they will pay me for that as well. So I'm interested to see that product. There's also a dandruff shampoo that contacted me as well, which I have this skin thing that causes my skin to like flake weirdly. So I get dandruff in my beard and my hair. So I'm actually excited to see if this shampoo works. Because it's a bummer, like, especially in my beard. It can get, when it like gets inflamed and stuff, it hurts. It itches a lot, and then it just like it's not a good situation. And I don't know, mostly because I'm not showering regularly enough, but because it's less of an issue when I was doing that. But I've always had dandruff issues, and it's annoying when it's my beard, because it'll just like my shirt will just be like covered in just dry, just flaked off skin. So I'm interested to see if that shampoo works. But happy that the UGC stuff seemingly dried up for a month or so, and now is starting to pick up again. I'm enjoying doing the videos and the editing, and it's been a lot of fun. The dog treat one, it was basically me talking to Izzy. I had this video of Izzy barking at me, and I like had this fake conversation with her. So I used that video and just edited in my script what I wanted to say. So it looks like I'm talking to my dog about this dog treat. I thought it was adorable. I'm hoping they accept it, because it's not as much of a product review as it is just a fun video about their product. But yeah, so did a couple of those this week. But everything's been kind of smooth this week, which is a pleasant change. In the past few months, it feels like I'm barely getting things done or feel like I'm overwhelmed. And this week, I think a big part of it was that I got all of the clips for the show done early in the week and then just kind of casually did everything else. And I'm kind of ahead on a lot of stuff when it comes to the pre-production stuff on upcoming episodes. So it was a pretty kind of relaxing week. Also, last week I mentioned that the bulb in my projector exploded, like literally blew up. There was shattered glass all inside my projector when I opened it up. The bulb was broken, and ordered a new bulb, which thankfully didn't cost that much, only $100 through Amazon for a replacement bulb. They had lower end bulbs for less, but I figured I'd go a little bit better quality, hopefully better quality. It looks great, super easy. After taking out the broken one, it was just putting it in the slot, screwing in a screw tight, and then plugging it in, and then it fired up, no problems. Very happy with that. Not surprising that my projector exploded watching the Zack Snyder Batman vs. Superman, which is a movie I absolutely hated. But I also did watch, because I'm doing a top 5 Superman movies, so I forced myself to rewatch all of the Zack Snyder movies. But in rewatching the quote-unquote director's cut, the Snyder cut of Justice League, I actually liked it. Didn't like I don't even remember the original. I just remembered I hated it. And still hate the Batman vs. Superman, even though I watched the director's cut of that too. But Zack Snyder's Justice League I enjoyed a lot more. But what was stupid is that it's filmed in 4:3. So I have bars on the sides as if it was edited for TV back in the day. And he did this because it's like shot that way for IMAX. But it's an edit that that's only available through TV, through HBO Max. So it's just dumb. It is the dumbest thing for him to choose an aspect ratio that doesn't fill your screen. So it feels like it's edited for TV, which is just, whatever. Zack Snyder is one of the most overrated directors. I do not like. But was happy, pleasantly surprised that I did enjoy the 4-hour-long Snyder cut of the Justice League. We'll see if it makes my list of my top. Barely a Superman movie. He's barely in that movie, but I did enjoy it. Like I said, an efficient week. Feels good being able to get everything done and not feel like I'm behind or having too much to do. The poorest I have been since the pandemic started, where before the pandemic, drove rideshare and was pretty much week to week as far as just making enough money to pay for rent and groceries and just survive. And when the pandemic started, obviously that all went through before I was able to collect unemployment, thankfully, and the stimulus check. Like, I had run out of money. Equipment was breaking down. So this past week was down to my last $80, and was kind of crazy. Thankfully, some of the UGC jobs that I did came through, so I made some money. So I'm, financially not as close to being broke as I was, but still, kind of crazy moment to be really close to the edge of just bottoming out. But and I have this group show coming up at the end of this month, so I'm hoping that the painting sells to help me pay rent for next month would be great. And I've got a bunch of UGC stuff lined up, so I should be good bringing in more money again, as it seemed to have dried up for a bit. But yeah, kind of crazy. And then live events are starting to pick up. I got a notice. The 111 night market that I was doing is changing locations and is going far out to Desert Hot Springs, which is like almost an hour away from where I am versus where it was at in Palm Desert at the mall. But it's interesting. It's in conjunction with a dispensary out there, I think, or a weed-related event that happens out there, and they contacted me today on Instagram seeing if I wanted to sponsor a puff and paint event. I have no idea. They're going to be sending me the information on that, so I'm open to it. I'm excited to do that. It's been I haven't smoked weed in like a year and a half, but open to doing that. Definitely have done a lot of painting and things on weed and whatever, and it sounds like a fun event. I don't know what sponsoring it means. I would imagine maybe coming out to paint, or maybe instruct people into painting. I have no idea. So I'm supposed to be getting information from them any moment now. That could be in my inbox right now, but interested. Opportunities opening up to hopefully bring in more income, which I desperately need. So hopefully all those things. And I want to, with the upcoming events starting up again, live events, local events in September and October, want to hopefully offer prints and stickers at these events. And hopefully would like to be able to be printing them myself. That is the goal. So we'll see if I'm able to get there in time by the end of the year. Mental health, pretty good week. Nothing much in any direction. I really felt like I was all over the place for the past, month, or even before my mom passing away, which is almost 2 months ago now. I was coming off of a couple months of depression, and then that happened, and then just kind of been all over the place mentally, and also running out of money. It's just like, now that everything's seemingly back on track, I had a good week. No anxiety, no depression, no mania. Just kind of felt balanced this week, which is good. I'm very thankful for that. Let's take a quick break from this episode because I want to promote. Are you looking for a way to take your love of The Ray Taylor Show to the next level? Look no further than Inspired Disorder Plus. As a member, you'll get access to a whole host of amazing perks, including the full week of shows, ad-free in both audio and video versions, a live painting archive, early access to the many faces, members-only discounts and deals, a podcast back catalog with over 600 episodes. But that's not all. As a member, you'll get access to my personal blog as well as my creative writing. You'll also get the chance to ask me anything you want. With all of these benefits and more, Inspired Disorder Plus is a must-have for any fan of The Ray Taylor Show. So don't wait. Go sign up now. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and start enjoying all of the amazing perks of the membership. And now, let's get back to the show. But what I do like to do at the end of every episode is highlight something I am thankful for, which is not just my mental health. I am very thankful for that. But this week, I am thankful for my mom. Rest in peace. Passed away a couple months ago. She's the woman, obviously, that gave me life. She was an artist herself. So growing up, I had access to her art tools, easels, paintbrushes, paints. She never really guided me in any way, but did allow me to use her stuff. She did oil paintings. I've never gotten into oil. Acrylic, in my opinion, dries too slowly for me, and kind of enjoy working where I'm at now with inks and paper. But from an early age, was able to get into painting. So that was good. Also learned independence. I'm an only child raised by her, but I did spend a lot of my childhood at friends' houses on the weekends, on summer vacation, going on vacation with my friends' house, with my friends to visit their families in different places, the Midwest, Hawaii. I've been a lot of cool places with other people's families. So grew up very independent, and that is the way my mom decided to raise me. And I think I've benefited from that in a lot of ways, despite the fact that I don't really know her, didn't really know her, and we kind of went our separate ways once I was old enough to move out and get a job and kind of did my own thing. And then she moved to Colorado and did her own thing. So we never really had a close relationship. So, very unique situation. I'm thankful that it seems like she had a good life. She made good friends, and all of that thing. I'm at peace with our situation, and I love my mom, and sad that she is gone. But at the same time, the way she went out is a dream come true, I would think, for most people. To pass away in your own bed while you're sleeping, can't really go wrong from that, from natural causes. So, an interesting situation, kind of existing separately, but having a lot in common when it comes to art, but made me the person who I am today. And so I'm thankful for her. Thankful for the person that I am because of her. And thankful that there are good memories to look back on. Fishing, I remember fishing. We didn't spend a whole lot of time together, but there were moments and memories that I have that, I will cherish. And it's kind of crazy that, not only have I been independent, my independence and being self-sufficient, I don't come from money. I've never been financially helped out in any way from family or my mom. Everything I've done on my own. When I purchased my condo in San Diego, it was all me. Down payment, my credit, no co-signers. The only thing I ever received from family was my first car my grandparents gave me. But that's been a big strength of mine, something I value in myself, that I've been able to do the thing that a lot of Republicans, the whole bootstrap thing, which is garbage. I think the government should definitely do a lot to subsidize humanity versus subsidizing millionaires' failed business ventures, or bailing out failed businesses as well. So not until my mom passing away and me being the beneficiary of everything, this I'm in the first time in my entire life at the age of 42, financially benefiting from things that I had nothing to do with. And it coming at a time when financially, like I said, was almost bottomed out and really didn't know, aside from, the work that I'm doing and potential income that I have coming in, being in a very difficult position. But now, because of this event and things that come from that, I have so much more opportunities now to upgrade equipment, to start offering new products when I do live events, to just have breathing room financially so I don't have to worry about anything for the time being. So very interesting journey, there's no guarantees in life. And it's weird how many times it feels like I'm about to crash and burn, and some insane thing that I never thought would happen. And I'm not even just talking about my mom passing away. That's definitely something. Everybody dies. She was older, didn't live the healthiest lifestyle, at least for a lot of her life. Maybe she turned things around later on, but sometimes there's too little too late. Damage is already done. So that's a crazy thing to happen, especially when it did happen. But even the pandemic, to think that there would be a global pandemic, and that even though I was driving gig work, which wouldn't qualify me for unemployment, because of the pandemic and special circumstances, it did. And on top of that, to get, because I live in California, getting more money on top of that took me from rock bottom to being able to upgrade all of my equipment during the pandemic and do new things. It's insane. Life is an insane ride. And the thing that I've learned is that the future is so unpredictable. So even though life seemingly is putting you in a position where you feel like there's no way out, you can't see a way for things to work out, I'm telling you, you don't know. Just as crazy bad things can happen in an instant, good things can happen too. And it's crazy. You just kind of have to struggle and survive one more day. And if you survive long enough, things can change. So for that and for so much more, for the person I am, for the artist I am, for the independent person and the strength that I have, I'm thankful to my mom for all of that. And I hope that whatever you believe in, I'm an atheist. Her job of existing is over. Whether anything exists past this plane, nobody knows. Just as we don't know the future, nobody has any idea. And I can't imagine these books written by people a long time ago have any idea of what really happens after. But whatever it is, I'm thankful for her and for who I am, and that she didn't suffer, and that she seemed to have had a good life and made good connections with people prior to her saying goodbye to reality. So, thank you, Mom. I appreciate you. I love you. Rest in peace. Upcoming events. There's no good transition from that, I don't think. Upcoming events, August 26th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. There is a group art show at the Flat Black Gallery in Palm Desert, California, off of 111 at the Palm Desert Mall. I will be one of many artists showing work. I have just recently completed 21 new 18 by 24 paintings. I will be choosing one to submit for this group show. So if you would like to come by and see my artwork, see everybody else's artwork, hopefully purchase artwork, that would be great. That's what we're there for. Purchase, support artists who probably really need it, as I know I do. Stop by the Flat Black Gallery on August 26th. It's a Saturday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. We will all be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I'm excited to go see it. I'm excited to see what painting I choose and to see the frame that's going to show up. Hopefully that works. I have a few ideas if it doesn't. But you can get the details for all that, as well as future upcoming live and local events on my website, inspireddisorder.com/events, if you want details for all of my upcoming live and local events. And as always, I am thankful for the opportunity to connect with all of you through this podcast and to share my journey with all of you. Please join the conversation by leaving a comment or rating on your favorite podcast platform or over on youtube.com/inspired disorder if you're watching this, as all episodes are in video version as well. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next Saturday for another episode of Rayz Dayz. Subscribe to The Ray Taylor Show on YouTube and everywhere podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Purchase Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.